with all Jesus' joy, help me to welcome my own boy, Sophie Shadrack. I want to tell you today that I love you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I give you this microphone. You are not clapping.
Praise the Lord. First of all, I want to say that I'm happy to be here. And I want to greet our mommy and our daddy. I think it should be the third time. Please, can we celebrate them? Can we celebrate them? I think while I was discussing with Papa last month, I was supposed to be here since last month, but one engagement over another engagement. And he was talking to me how there have been a series of several things that would help us financially. Let me just tell you that it's not something you see everywhere. I can tell you for free. Where I am, these are things we try to push the leadership to do. And even up till now, we are not even seeing it. We are not even seeing it. So it's something that we have been pushing for a year. We have not even seen it. So it's something you should give thanks to God, because the dominion God told us, the instruction for us to have dominion was across all various sectors. Yeah, every walk of life we are supposed to have dominion there. So when we focus so much on one aspect, which is the spiritual, it will help us to a very large extent, but it would still keep us limited. So we need to celebrate this opportunity being given to us. I don't know if this slide is... Yes, so in a form of introduction, just like Papa said about, a father. That's one thing I've always appreciated being around him, is that you always, I know everybody here feels that way. You always have this way of being a father to us. The joy of every father, while before he even made mention of that word, what I had in mind to say was when the Bible told us about the quiver of a man who has many children, how his quiver is so much filled with arrows. And when you talk about arrows, it's both a defense and an offense. If you're like, I think my father was saying something in the village one time, because we have this kind of gun, this local gun. So you need to have it, even though you don't have bullets, have it. Someone who sees you with a gun would at least try to, he will know the kind of attack he would come. So that's very important. And I want us to give ourselves to work, to diligence. The Bible calls it diligent. I think that's one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. The Bible talked about, seest thou a man that is diligent in his business. That is diligent in his business. Papa will know who I want to talk about, Dr. Chukwemeka Asogwa, who for several weeks now or months, it's because I've built myself, and I thank God for that. I've been representing him in several capacities to preach this same thing called blockchain and skills, and the need for young people to develop skills. So the reason why I'm here today is not because of anything special, but because I've decided to give in myself to being diligent. And that scripture I would love us to look at is Nahum chapter 2, where Prophet Nahum was saying, I'm going to go on the watchtower and see what the Lord wants to speak to me. And he said something about vision. God told him that write the vision down, make it plain, so that they that see it would run with it. That's exactly what Papa is doing now. He's presenting opportunities for us to run with. Hallelujah. So are we ready? How many of us were here when I was here last year? That should be around February. How many persons were here? I want to set some people up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know your face very well. Okay, maybe I'll reference that while I'm speaking. I want to share with us on something that I titled Leveraging Blockchain Technology for Wealth Creation. So if we just have 4 hands, that means most of us are not familiar with blockchain. So I'm just going to start from there. Leveraging blockchain. So blockchain is just one of those, let me do a quick introduction so we know how to follow through. Blockchain is just one of those technologies. Okay, blockchain is just one among many technologies. Now, you ask me, I think several times my mom would always be on me, get a job, get a job, get a job. And it looks as though God wants to answer our prayer. But before that, I'm a student of history. I study history. I love reading. That's one thing about me. I don't like being in an environment where I have nothing to contribute about. So when I was quite younger, I think maybe in my early 20s, I started studying about history. And I started studying, the people I focused on studying were the richest men in the world. I started studying the richest men in the world from after the Second World War. And I got to discover that there was this man, I can't really remember his name now, a Russian man, who immediately after the World War rose to become the richest man in the world. What made him rich? He owned a supply chain that is into food, like into agriculture. And you need to be able to, the Bible says we should be wise. So you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to open a photocopying shop at this age. Maybe you might want to do that inside school, but if you come out, maybe you go to town and you want to open a photocopying shop, you are going to be poor. That's just the truth. Because we've long passed that age where you are talking about, now we even have smart photocopying machine. I can send whatever I want to print through Bluetooth, and it just prints it for me. Okay, so when I started studying these people, like I said, first of all, I studied the Russian man, and I discovered why he became the richest man. Because if he became the richest man, what made him become the richest man? After the Second World War, if we are conversant with history, we discovered that there was a whole lot of bombings. Food was a problem because everywhere was not even, it wasn't a place where you can plant. Especially in a place like Japan that experienced the atomic bomb. Even up to today, you hardly see, if a tree grows there, they celebrate it as though a miracle has happened. So that was the impact of the war. And this man quickly discovered that the problem that the world have now is food. So he built his entire empire around food and supply chain. And he was distributing this across countries and continents, and he rose to become the richest man. After that season, countries like America, because I graduated from Agric Engineering Department, and a whole lot, even our headquarters in the world is in America. So you read about John something Carver, I don't know I can't remember his first name. He developed a whole lot of things like even car paints, fuel from soya beans. So there was people who wanted to, maximize crops and the rest of them. So that was when America was taking charge in agricultural technologies and the rest of them. So countries started balancing their national security in terms of food, because food is it's a matter of national security. So when that balance was there, we now entered the age where we talk about computers. People wanted to send information very fast. And you see, the next person who took over that baton was Bill Gates. Bill Gates discovered a niche. Now, food is no longer the problem. People need to do something very fast. They need to do something smart. They need to send information. They need to do a whole lot of things. And that was the era of the computers, which now we now have smart devices and so on. But Bill Gates rose up to be what? The richest man in the world. And after Bill Gates, we saw the likes of Amazon and that's Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, which Elon Musk is currently taking that baton now. These people discovered that, shipment and the rest of them, in terms of, we look at Alibaba in Asia, which has to do with logistics, for you to be able to send things across continents with, because then if you don't have money to load something in ship, it's going to be a problem. Okay, please, I'm driving to somewhere. So he created a system through the internet where you can just order a toothbrush from China across your continent, and created a system. He became the richest man in Asia, while people like Elon Musk, became the richest man. What made Elon Musk rich was the need for, let's say, his cars and some other software products. Then you look at another young man who is also doing very well, Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg discovered when he carried out the whole experiment, if you know his story, I don't want to go there, discovered that people need to socialize. Like, in fact, we should credit Mark Zuckerberg to change, to be a pioneer of the modern culture we have, because this was not the way people used to live their life in terms of, because culture is the way people live their life. Now, if you wake up, the first thing you touch is your phone. You want to know how many people liked your comment or your videos or whatsoever like that. So he changed the way we lived our life. And if you see him, I still believe he will still take that baton from Musk one day, because he's really, really smart. Just that Elon Musk on his own is diversifying into several sectors: energy, social media, and even space exploration and the rest of them. So you see that what made these people unique was that they understood times and season. If we are to go back to the Bible, talking about the sons of Issachar, they understood times and season. And when I was, like I said, in my early 20s, I looked at how the world was going, because I studied history. If I was to say, let me go back to maybe be a regular employee, I will end up having a 9-to-5 job. I'm not saying a 9-to-5 job is bad, but let's say, for example, if I'm born in the next 20 years, or in the next 20 years, or in the next 10 years, this will be where blockchain, AI, and robotics are actually getting to their climax. Maybe those who were born in that era, I will not say they are unfortunate, there will still be opportunities, but you are being born in a season where a technology is heading to hit its climax. So there is little or no opportunity for you to maximize, except you are building something on top of the existing technology, which makes it different. Okay, just like Mark Zuckerberg did with the internet. Because the internet was already getting to its climax, he had to build something on the internet that was different. That was how he actually got his influence. So I was actually privileged to be an adult in a season where a technology was just still trying to be understood. And I can tell you that even sometimes you follow Elon Musk, he talks about AI. He doesn't really know. In fact, nobody knows much about AI. Even blockchain. We are still trying to understand what are the possibilities of AI and blockchain. I was telling a prof in my department last week that I know I'm very good with blockchain. I'm very good with blockchain. But I want to be indispensable, because I was listening to someone one time, he said, the degree to which you are valuable is the degree to which you are irreplaceable. And in the next 3 years, I want to dive into combining AI, blockchain, and data science. I will be one of the most important human beings on earth. That's just the truth. Because those three skills are, individually, they are unique and they are very valuable. When you merge those three things together, you would become practically unstoppable. So we are actually in an era where you need to give yourself time. You need to give yourself time to study and understand what is blockchain. Okay, was it that was yesterday? I think either yesterday or 2 days ago. I saw, how many of us know Aproko Doctor? Aproko Doctor. We watch his reels on social media and the rest of them. And I saw something on X. He built how did he even put itself? Let me see if I can get the name. A clinical, he built an app where maybe I have symptoms of something, even before it develops, I can just ask the app. I think it's even embedded on WhatsApp, so it's like a bot on WhatsApp. You can ask it question, and it tell you about what is wrong with you. Something like hospitals use it, individuals use it. So I'm not looking at somebody who studied medicine, made money educating people about, because what he was doing was educating people about what? Health. That was how we got to know about him. But now he's not building a software product that would help him build an empire of wealth, because one day your content, or you lose inspiration, you lose inspiration creating content. When you stop creating those contents, his app is paying him. And I was surprised he has gotten over 100,000 users in just a year, and is doing so well. So that is to say, maybe when we go down into some of these skills, we are not saying, I know some of us are students, so we are not saying leave your school. It's an added advantage. It's an added advantage to you. Currently, I was discussing with Papa. Okay, I don't want to share more. I won't share much about it because that idea is very critical to me. So I was discussing with Papa. Like I said, I graduated from agric engineering. I know a lot about agric, waste, climate change, and the rest of them. I did my master's in renewable energy. And I'm currently using blockchain to solve a problem in climate change. And I'm entering into a multi-billion-dollar industry that has still not been explored in Africa. If you listen to your president when he was speaking in UN, he was talking about people should give us money. So there's so much money there. How am I able to know that there's an opportunity? I know blockchain so well. I know about climate change because I studied it. So I was now able to say, okay, this is the gap. This is the gap in blockchain. This is a gap in climate change tech, and this is what blockchain can do. So let's go to the second slide. Let's go to the second slide. The big picture. Now, as Christians, we are called to be good stewards of our resources and multiply our talent. The internet democratizes information, but Web3 is democratizing wealth. I'm going to explain that. Now, what's the problem? I just want to talk about blockchain in a way all of us is going to understand. What's the problem? Traditional finance has gatekeepers. Okay? Your accounts can be banned. If you send money now, let's say I send money to him, it will leave my phone, maybe from my OPay, for example. It will first of all go to OPay, go to the people OPay is partnering with, which is Zenith Bank, before it will get to him. And each of those parties, those intermediaries, they have their court. Okay? So what blockchain is doing is that blockchain is removing that intermediary. Okay? So spending money across border is slow and expensive. Global opportunities are often close to young Africans. Now, when we talk about, maybe you might hear me talk about money or finance, just like I gave an example. Blockchain is not limited to money. Okay? Blockchain is not limited to money. So let's look at what is blockchain. The next slide. So since we are let's use a church setting, for example, to explain what we mean. So imagine that the church financial record is book kept by one person. It can be lost, it can be altered, it can be what? It can be tampered. Whether you are saving it electronically or you are saving it on paper, these same things can still happen. Now imagine that each member has the exact copy on their phone, updated instantly for everybody at the same time. So what it means is that in terms of blockchain, when everybody is seeing the church financial record, nobody can actually alter the record, because when somebody's altered the record, it will reflect in everybody's phone that somebody has actually altered the record. And if somebody tries to cheat, the other 500 books reject it. 500 books now can mean individual. Let's say 500 church members can actually reject it. Let's say, for example, we say, okay, this is the offering we had today, and it's been recorded. Nobody can come a week later and say, okay, it was $1 million, but now it's now $500,000. Nobody can do that because everybody was present when it was counted, and we say, yes, this is the amount. Do you get? So let's take, for example, that is something like, okay, I counted, I got 1 million, and that person counted, got 1 million, and that person counted, got 1 million. So everybody agreed this is 1 million. We now say, yes, it's 1 million. When everybody agrees that it's 1 million, it's recorded and timestamped. Timestamp means that particular Sunday or that particular day that church activity happened, the exact time we agreed is timestamped and is on the blockchain. Once it's timestamped, everybody gets a copy of it. Do you understand now? So, it's a digital, unhackable, transparent record, book shared across thousands of computers globally, removing what? Middlemen. That middleman now is that the head of the financial department that can tell us, okay, we made so amount of money this month, or we made so amount of money that month. So blockchain is removing that intermediary, giving us direct access to information. So let's come down to what blockchain is in a general sense. Blockchain is actually a digital database. It's actually a database where we store information, just that we store information now in a decentralized way. When we talk about decentralized, don't say that I'm speaking too much English. Decentralized means it's not one centralized party that have control of that. Let me give an example for those of us that are in school, okay? Let's say, for example, that after you write your semester exam, your lecturer marks your script, and we now have validators. Validators are people who say, okay, this person actually scored this thing. So we now have a board that sits on each of those scripts and said, okay, you scored this person 90, it's supposed to be 90, or you scored this person 80, it's supposed to be 80. If it's not supposed to be 80, they correct that. That's what we call validators. So if, for example, we have that system that says, okay, you scored this. If, for example, I'm not saying you should abuse somebody, but even if you abuse your lecturer, the lecturer cannot say because you abuse him and alter your record, which is what so many people face. Okay, so that's just a different scenario, just for me to explain in terms of academics. So digital ownership, it gives you control. So blockchain gives you control. Hope you know the money you have is not your own. If you doubt it, ask the FCC. It's Nigerian money. They'll ask you, it's not Naira, is it you that printed it? It's their money. So what blockchain does is that it gives us ownership. Okay? It gives us ownership. Nobody is in control, especially when we talk about Bitcoin, which was the first cryptocurrency, the first use of blockchain technology, or the first successful use of blockchain technology, which is blockchain. If you own a blockchain and if you own a Bitcoin and it's in your wallet, nobody can hack your account or freeze your account. You have total control of your resources. Okay? Next slide. So there are various entry levels into blockchain or crypto. Now, this one now is crypto, because crypto is just one application of blockchain. Okay, we'll still look at other applications, just one application of blockchain. So how many of us have owned crypto before? I should see plenty people's hand. You've owned crypto before? Okay. So all these things are entry levels, like let's say you buy BNB, or you buy CHZ, or you buy TWT. You're just learning how to create a wallet and the rest of them. So a wallet is more or less like, you need a wallet to interact with the blockchain, because first of all, we say that it is what? Digital. Now, crypto and investing, like trading, so you can buy assets using your wallet. Then airdrop is also an entry level. Airdrop is more or less like, airdrop is not free money. Sometimes I'll tell you in crypto, airdrop is free money, but airdrop is not free, because it's your data and your time. Okay? So airdrop is more or less like carrying out simple tasks, and you are being paid. And you can actually be paid something handsome. I've seen people cashed out $50,000 from airdrop. There was one that I saw of recent. That was Solana Mobile. Solana is actually a cryptocurrency. They created their own phone. And they airdropped $5,000 to each person that bought that phone. And I heard a rumor of somebody who bought 500 of those phones. So he spent $400 per one. So $400 times 500, and he now got $5,000 for each of in each of them. So that's crazy. I know that guy is either he knows somebody that was in the team that knew that they were going to do that thing. And that's just my speculation, but that's just what it is. So airdrop is more or less like an opportunity where you can earn free money. Either you can get paid for learning, you can get paid for carrying out activities, you can get paid for promoting people, you can get paid for reposting some content on social media. So these are just like entry levels. These are things that encourages you when you are still trying to build a portfolio in the blockchain space. And there's what they call bounties as well. Which is, I'll maybe be talking about that later. So bounty ranges in different things. It can be content creation. How many of us do content creation here? You do content creation. Don't be shy now. You know how to do videos. Just one person. Okay, inside. Okay, media team. Okay, so the thing is that in the blockchain space, there is free money, not free money now. There's money everywhere, okay, but you can focus on, if you are getting started, don't focus. That's just me for you. Try as many things as possible, then narrow down into something that you've discovered that is more compatible with who you are. Okay, so most of these things, I did everything. I'm a trader, I've done airdrop hunting like crazy, I've done testnet like say tomorrow, no day. I've pursued bounty. In fact, 3 days ago, I also submitted an application for a $200 grant or something. So, try your hands on a lot of things and know where to niche down. So, when it comes to bounty, it's just maybe carrying out little tasks. As there was a bounty, there was a platform I helped organize their event in Enugu. Last month, they organized a $4,000 bounty. Papa, there was one that shocked me. $1 million bounty. When I looked at it, I knew that I needed I needed that thing, but I don't have what it takes to win it. So I just calmed down and said, let me keep growing. There was one that shocked me. They were creating this content creation. There's this all these crypto fintech company. They had bounty. And some person go hire drone, use drone, they shoot bounty video. I'm telling you. I know someone, we are not very close though, but he has won, with just this year alone, I've seen him won over $10,000 in video, just creating videos about Solana product and the rest of them. So I think the first one I saw him won was they did an event in Abuja. So they just created a bounty. He won $2,000 as at then. Just create a video about summary of the event. That's all. So he went, when he was going, I think part of what I'll be doing is I'll start having my own media crew wherever I'm going. So he just did a video of how the whole event went, compiled it, in about 2-3 minutes. Him and some other persons won bounty, if I may ask. So if you have skills, okay, and another thing again that some of these things will do to you, it will sharpen your skills, because you won't win on the first time, except you are very good. That's just the truth. Because some people now take bounty as their job. I'm being honest with you. Because if you're a top player, they have gears, like very good camera and the rest of them. So some people take it as their job. If you get, even if you get $2,000 once in 3 months, you still stay soft. That's just the truth. You still stay soft to a very large extent. So that's just, so we need to position ourselves. So let's go to the next slide. Before we look at career paths, recently I've been trying to narrow down my niche to focus on blockchain industrial application. A whole, like I was discussing with Papa, I just hope, okay, let me just pause to do some statistics for us, so it will open our eyes a bit. There's so much money in this country, yo. I'm telling you, there's so much money. And there's something I always tell my team members. I said sometimes you need to stay long in the game to actually see just one problem you can solve. Like the product I'll be sharing with you. in fact, it was even clearer this year. Last year, it was still coming like ideas, until about 3 or 4 statements I saw on Twitter validated the business model very well. Okay, so, but I've been in the blockchain space since either 2018 or 2019. So I've stayed that long just to understand one thing. So don't take your participation. You might be a pro airdrop hunter just to discover, what if they do a job like this, it will be better. That's a business idea. So you can now start building a product around that. You might be a content creator. Let's say, for example, like you said, you're a content creator. You might be doing content for a while. You might have done it for a long time for you to be able to discover some inconsistencies or gaps that you can actually fill. Just like I feel that was what our Proco doctor did. Because maybe people must have been entering his DM, sir, I have headache, I have this, and my stomach is disturbing me, or my stomach is singing. And he'll be like, how can I actually attend to all these people? I posted it in my community. Do you know the amount of data that entered into developing that app? Like they might have just compiled something somebody will go to school and study for 6 years or 7 years into one app. Praise the Lord. Now, what I will tell you is that just like I made mention, I started by giving us an introduction of technologies and disruptions. Blockchain is about starting. Like, this is when it starts. Like I told you, I love studying history. I was surprised to know that when car was invented, nobody wanted to drive car. I was surprised. When car was invented, you can go and do your research. When car was invented, nobody wanted to buy it until the government started paving roads and putting road signs, safety signs. That was when people started buying cars. That was like last 2 years or so. I said the mass adoption of crypto is coming when regulation sets in, when regulation is clear. And that's what's going on. Abroad, regulation is very, very clear. In Nigeria, where we are, before our former president stepped down, he published a document for blockchain. He said because he banned it in his first tenure, or banned it in his second tenure before he left. But in the current administration, they've done so much in terms of regulation. We have very, very clear regulatory framework in Nigeria. So for it to reach that level, it means that the big players are ready, because one thing with investors is that they want to know that they are safe in any industry. So when regulation become clear, they can now come in. And when they come in, they come with their funds. They have funds. Okay, funds, bulk funds, not the kind of bulk funds we know. Bulk funds. Okay, so you are talking about people who control maybe 1/3 of the economy. You look at people like Citibank, JP Morgan, BlackRock. I think BlackRock is the biggest asset manager in the world. And I would love you to go look they are backing some cryptocurrencies actually. They are backing some cryptocurrency. I'm trying to remember one. Maybe if I remember it before I end, I will say it. So there are some cryptos they are backing, and you want to hold those tokens, because of course they are whales. So what I was driving at is when this industrial adoption keeps scaling, they will need people who understand this thing. They will need people who will be able to say, let me tell you something. I know I'm good at tokenomics, but recently, okay, let me give an example. I was talking to my professor where I'm doing my master's about, because we are focused on energy. There's so much going on in Africa about mini grids. So mini grids are constructed where the national grid cannot reach, let's say remote areas or even offshore, like people that work offshore. So mini grids can be wind or solar and the rest of them. So they need data. In fact, while I was even doing my MSc presentation on last week, Monday, somebody was doing a presentation on wind vane. where to situate wind vane in Africa and their cost. And where he got his data is from NASA. No, they are the only people that have data. Africa, we don't have data for anything. Okay, so I was now saying, what of if NASA is altering the figures for Africa? I hope you know, if you look at the world map, Africa is bigger than Europe, but on the world map, Africa is smaller than Europe. And so if you don't know, just know today. So they are deceiving us in a whole lot of things. They want your mind to think small. I'm small. They just want you to feel limited. So what if NASA is altering those data? You see that there is blockchain application there. So if we have a data station, for example, there is need for that data, entering that data station, to be on the blockchain because somebody can alter it. So now you now begin to think, as a blockchain expert, which kind of tokenomics model will you use? It's not 10% for founder, 20% for marketing. It's not that type of tokenomics model. So we need to start looking at blockchain away from don't launch. When are we launching? From airdrop. So you see that is deeper than that. In fact, I was telling my professor that I'm going to start my PhD this year. What I want to study is, what I want to research on is the place of AI and automation in validation. Because the current framework of blockchain validation still needs individuals. So what of in offshore, in system where there is no human being to even say this data is correct? There needs to be an autonomous system that will be able to validate that data is actually the correct data. So you see that the opportunities in the blockchain is still, it's enormous. I don't know if you are following. If you are following, tell me I hear you, if you understand what I'm saying. Do you know why I'm saying this? It's, the opportunity is massive. And we still have, for me, I still think we still have up to 30 to 50 years for the technology to actually get to its very good maturity stage. So what am I saying? This is a gold mine. The Bible said that a man discovered a gold in a field. He sold all he had. Ask Papa. The platform I'm building, I went broke. But I knew what I was building. So you need to, like I said, I'm privileged, and I believe you are privileged, except you don't want to accept. You are privileged to be in a season or in a point in history where, if we're able to understand this thing, maximize it. And there are several, what is it called again? In business, you can be in several places. Okay? So you can be at the tier 1, maybe people who make decisions. You can be in tier 2, you can be in tier 3. You can even be in marketing, like the content creators. There are people on X, if you are conversant with crypto Twitter, there are people on X that if you give them to shoot your video advert, you are sure that they will come out with something very quality. They've carved out a niche for themselves. I don't want to learn about coding, programming, data analysis, project. Just leave those ones, they're too technical for me. Finish the product, give me. I go show that product to people who need the product as well. So while I will still expose us to various career paths. So you must not be a developer, even though that's where the bulk of the money is. But everything has a price. Like, let me give an instance. I think during my youth service, I was trying to learn how to code. I think that was the first time I was sitting down. It wasn't a very palatable seat like this, plastic seats. I sat down for 18 hours. I lie not. Sat down for 18 hours trying to finish what they gave me to finish. 18 hours. 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 18 Last 2 weeks, I broke that record, sir. I've not been able to calculate it very well, but I think I did it at 20 or 22. There was a bug. I said I must sort out this bug. Because the platform, we had a deadline, we wanted to launch in January, within May. And it'd be like, team motivation don't go low. Something needs to happen. So if I'm the person to pay the price, I need to pay every price possible to get it up. So what you're looking at, why I'm sharing all these things is that for you to see that there is opportunity to maximize. You just need to sit down and study. Sit down and understand this blockchain first and actually know where you want to niche down. Now, before I go there, let me just say this last one. Industries need these people. I was telling a lawyer friend of mine about 3 years ago, sir, learn about blockchain, start niching down, because almost every project we need a legal practitioner. With the way policy is going, like if you, somebody was complaining on Twitter yesterday that I saw it about Paystack. Like every time maybe you have different business brand, you will do KYC, you submit your document every time. They are complaining. So there are new regulations. Let's say, for example, in Nigeria, KYC is now a must, it's not optional. Okay? And you must submit data. So you need a lawyer who is up to date before, if you know, regulators, when they come, you pay fine. It's not you don't know. I don't know, it's not there. So you need somebody who is a legal practitioner. I was telling a friend of someone who was close to me about 3 years ago, start reading about blockchain policies. So you can even start positioning yourself on X. Start talking about policies. Blockchain policies. Start talking about how startups can, build a product that is compliant. It's one thing to build products. It's another thing to know whether the product is compliant with regulation. And regulation is different all over the world. Regulation in Nigeria is different from the one in Ghana. Like there was a company I worked with recently, last year, that the regulation in Nigeria, like for example in Nigeria will not differentiate utility token and security token. Everything for them is security token. And project like security tokens, they treat it like stocks. So, but projects like Solana, BNB, all those things, they are not like, will I say, for profit like that. It's supposed to be a utility token, something that is used to incentivize the ecosystem, not necessarily as though you are making profit out of it. So, but Nigeria has not differentiated that. So, if, for example, you are in US and you build a product and you just carry it, you are saying utility, and you enter Nigerian market, you must oblige with what Nigeria has in their regulation. Whether you call it utility token or you call it security, it falls under digital asset. So we put everything in one place. So I just mentioned that for us to see there is also opportunity there. So we have, these are global salaries for, that might just be middle workers. So we have, just go to the next slide. A blockchain developer. So a blockchain developer is more or less the technical aspect of blockchain, the fundamental. Is this the fundamental? I doubt. It's not even the fundamental. I think the fundamental should be the knowledge. For me, there is one underestimated skill in the blockchain, which is project management. Project management, very underestimated. I think people in the Web 2 industry value it more than people in Web 3. So they build smart contracts, DeFi protocol, wallet, and the rest of everything that has to be built in the blockchain space, they are built by what? Blockchain developer. And if you enter blockchain developer, they still have different niche. They have Solana developers, Ethereum developers, Bitcoin developers. So you might just decide to niche down in a particular language. Like if you want to do EVMs, like the Ethereum virtual machine that is compatible with BNB, Ethereum, Avalanche, and all those layer one, or you want to go into moves, SEW, movements, Aptos, or which other language again? Ikamoto, that's IPC. Then I think that's the one I can remember. Solidity is for EVM. So you might want to niche down in these various different languages. So what are the opportunities? They cannot do without you. That's just the truth. You cannot do without blockchain developers. So even after building a platform, you might be called to either modify the smart contract, maintain the smart contract, or if there are loopholes. I'm going to give us a skill. Please, in case I did not mention it, maybe I passed, I did not mention it, remind me at the end. For me, one of the most valuable skills in tech right now. Okay, next slide. Web3 data analyst. I love, like I said, I'm going into data analysis. Do you know, if you're in the Web3 space, you know that the Nigerian market is underrated. Nigeria is underrated. We have our own, we have where we have strengths, but we are very underrated. And the reason why we are underrated is based on data. I was shocked when, I think the company I was worked with, a data was sent to the platform, which was in airdrops. Global participation in airdrop. It's not that we are number one. We have 60% share. Hey, now you understand. It's not that we are number one. The yapping, hey, Jesus, I weak. That's why you see they underrate us when it comes to, and when it comes to capital, I've worked with, at least I've worked with about 3 or 4 crypto exchanges. They underrate us because our volume is, you cannot compare your volume to anywhere in the world. Africa, Europe is more than us, Asia is more than us in terms of volume. So we would be saying, give us money, let's do campaign, let's do marketing. They'll be like, even if we give you money to do campaign and marketing, what will come out of it? Do you understand? So data analysis is one thing that people out there, they don't joke with, because every information is backed by data. Every icon you see, like today I came on X, I discovered a new icon. Every icon you see on X or on Facebook, it's not because they want to do it. It's backed by data. There is something that if I have time, I would build. I'm done with the research. And I did the research with AI, actually. I did the research with AI. I'm trying to build, that will be my side project. Might take me 1 year or 2 years, but I'll be building it gradually. It's a game. It's a game for children. I looked at what's the name of that cartoon? Cocomelon. You'll be surprised that there were PhD holders and professors that did research for that cartoon you're seeing. They don't just show. Any child you show Cocomelon is captivated instantly. When I was doing a research about the game I wanted to create, I was just like, okay, I wanted to create something for a child. Based on data, what should I build? I said I should build an app for children that teaches them maths and English. That's the highest, like based on demand, that's the highest. And based on what I was, because I went to Cloudy, I said, this is a company now, I want to build an app for children. Give me all the whole department. He said, I need a research unit, I need the data analysis unit, I need the building unit, about 6 different units. I said, okay. I took it, attached it as one of the projects folder for those that have been using cloud. Attached it as one of the project files. Now went to a particular chart. I said, this chart now will act as the research unit. Start from beginning, let's start doing research. what do I need to do? He started giving me research. Kept giving me research. And based on, because we are done with research now, and we are done with setting the curriculum, because I have a chart for research department, I have another chart for curriculum department. We are done with curriculum. So what the game will do is that it grows with the child. It won't tell you you failed. It won't tell you no. Because it's built based on research on children's psychology. When you tell them, you show them bad sign, it retards them from trying that thing again. These are PhD research that... So I was telling myself, I did that thing within 2 days or so. I would have paid thousands of dollars to carry out that research. And it's adaptive. How many of you have noticed that? Do you know these guys are monitoring us? Yes. Even audio. Yes. So you might just... It's not the one that you say, I went to browse in this website and they are showing me. You are in a place with your phone talking about something. Maybe you are talking about bag. Open your phone, a bag ad will appear. Based on the research it gave me, two children can carry out the same quiz, select the same answer. What will come next will be different for the two of them. The word is so simple, boys, for you make money if you can think. Data. Data is very important. Like, data is so important. I don't know how to emphasize on this enough. So we have dune analysis, forensic, market trend, supply, token supply, on-chain. A lot of things is now easy now. A lot of things is now very easy. I think maybe in a month, I will start testing my robot for trading. A lot of things is now easy to do. If you go on X, you see people, they create autonomous system that is trading for them. I think there was one I came across. I don't even need to have trading knowledge. Just identify the best people the people that have the best results, copy them. That's just all. And you can do this with your phone, with chat. I don't like ChatGPT, but with an AI tool. So let's just be done with this. The job opportunities are there. Let's go to the next one. UX UI. This is also very important. Let me also share this with us. The project I'm working on, tokenizing climate change. Papa, the people who use it will not know that it's built on Web3. They won't know. It should just be as though you're using OP. Because you don't need to buy gas, you don't need to buy gas fee, you don't need to do all those things. Just put in your data, the platform pays the gas fee. You need to know about updated trends in how smart contracts are being developed. When you are sending us data that requires you to pay gas fee, because everything you do to be recorded on the chain needs gas fee, the platform will pay your gas fee. If we are giving you the carbon credit, for example, we issue the carbon credit. If you want to withdraw the carbon credit to another platform, we will not steal. You don't need to steal, even if let's say, for example, we are built on BNB or whatever. You don't need to fund BNB anything. We would route that, because what we are giving you is valuable. We will take the fee from that thing that we are giving you and route it with. So you will not even, because I think people have been saying that over time. Where Web3 we see massive adoption is where the user don't even know. Because if you go to Facebook, what concerns you with the code and the security that they are putting out there? It's not your business. You are just using the platform regardless of what's going on. So Web3 adoption would hit its climax when we can't differentiate. We can't say, okay, this person is a Web2 user, this person is a Web3 user. Everything will just be seamless. So we are talking about user experience. Currently, there is a group of people building a product, and I think they are in their beta. Is it beta now? They have alpha and beta testing, Abi. I think they should be in their beta testing. You can now send crypto as text message. You can send crypto as text message. So their own ideology is, why try to onboard people into a new system? Just use the system they have been using. That's user experience. So if you want to learn these skills, so you need to think about, if I'm designing a product interface, how easy is it for people to use this product without feeling any bottleneck or stress or whatever? Next slide, please. Product manager. I love this one. The project manager is the brain of every project. You are in between the stakeholders and the team and every other kind of variables. You are the person motivating your team, following them up, ensuring that things are moving smoothly the way they are supposed to go. Next slide. Growth and community manager. If you are a people person, especially the ladies, if you're a people person, I'll tell you to go with a growth manager. If you are a people person, it's not easy to be there. Because it's easier to be a that's where I've been almost all my experience in the Web2 space. It's easier to be a developer than to be a growth manager. Because a developer, you're talking to code. We are human beings. Meeting is by 5, they come by 8. So a growth manager, you should be able to know how to, like the last company I worked with, I wrote their growth plan, user acquisition. How can we present this thing to attract people, to keep them, activities we'll be doing every day to engage the community, all those things. Some of you are in some WhatsApp group. Hope you know there are some WhatsApp groups that are boring. There are some WhatsApp groups that are what? Very lively. The difference is management, community management. So you need to learn. I think my last job made me to learn about Discord. I never had interest for it because it was very complex. But I had to. Discord, Telegram. What are the new features? Because these people release updates. Just like a developer would always want to know the updates in GitHub or whatsoever. You need to know some new features like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. You need to know their recent feature because some of these features are made for business to scale and for businesses to grow. Like all this token launch campaign. If somebody comes to you now and say, I have this project I want to launch in 90 days. How am I going to, from my first user to my 2,000 user, to my 5,000 user, to my 10,000 user, to my 100,000 user, to my 1 million user? How are we going to go? Oh. Next slide, please. Okay, one last one. Cyber security. Before now, I would have not said cyber security. Okay? But the reason why I'm saying cyber security is because of AI. Do you know that in the last either 30 days or 60 days, this year alone, over 300 protocols have been hacked? And your government was not out of it. CAC was hacked, EFCC was hacked. How? Now it's easier to be a hacker. It's easier to be a hacker. I can just go to cloud and say, I'm a senior level engineer working with CAC. look at their website. I want to know where security breaches can come from. I need to guide me on where the security breaches can come. How can I exploit them? So you see that the world is in a big problem because of AI. We are in a big solution, but there is also a problem. Because I can go to Cloudy, for example, and act as a cybersecurity expert, and I will use it to hack people's platform. So if you can learn it so well that you can ensure, because there are people who can pay you any price you can call. I'm being serious with you. I'll pay you any price you can call to ensure that their data is safe. Let me give an instance with CAC. People were lamenting all over the place because of the breach. And millions of files were actually stolen or accessed. Now, what it means is that, like our Papa now. No, don't use Papa. Let me say someone there. Let's say, for example, Dangote. I hope you know he did CAC registration. Yes. And when you are doing CAC registration, the whole board of directors, their name, their phone numbers, their email, their location, and their signature is there. Yes. With their stamp. So imagine I have Dangote. No, are we live? So imagine you have that data. You can act as a representative of the company. You can access email. You can now even, because sometimes you don't even know the email to even start tracking. But now you don't have email, you can start tracking. You can start sending phishing links. So you see, cybersecurity is the one I would say, if you are going for the money, if you're not going for passion, content creation, you can go for passion. You love creating content and the rest of them. But if you are going for the money, go for cybersecurity. But it will drain, not sure. Since you are going for the money, you should pay the price now. Okay, so we have this. I'll just quickly say this. I think we just have 2 slides. So what's the solution? For a long time now, I've been building this platform, SophiNode. So SophiNode is more or less like a talent and a distribution network for Africa. But I'm still going to scale that up to the world. So what are we building? We've built a system where you can learn, you can earn, you can build, and you can get hired all in one system. So when you join our community or sign up on the platform, we will teach you, we have this free course, a blockchain fundamental course, that moves you from a newbie to an intermediate in the blockchain space. Then from there, you can now niche down on which career path you want to go to. Any of those career paths I made mention, you can actually select them, and you will be taught. Okay? So you can also earn on the platform. I think this month we'll launch our first bounty. Okay? Bounty, don't clap. It's not everybody that used to win bounty. It might just be 3 people or 4 people. So we'll start our bounty. Bounty can be anything. Bounty can be video content. It can be just across anything. Okay? So just look at it as, you come in, we teach you for free to know about blockchain. You pay, learn a skill, and we provide you with opportunity to earn with your skill. Okay? And we also, in terms of distribution has to do with channels in which product is being disseminated. We have what we call, I think we started a community here, but we need to revive it. Okay? So I was making some calls. There was only one person that I saw that responded. A friend of mine wanted to bring an event to this place, but most of the persons in the community was not responding. So you can be a campus ambassador, you can be a state ambassador for protocols that don't have reach here. Do you get? Don't have riches. So you can be someone who, like in the community we are creating. For example, we have about 5 communities now. We have in UNN, we have in Unijos, we have in Uniben, and we are trying to expand across the country. So what we are doing now is that in those schools, we are helping people to learn about various skills, bringing them into blockchain. And as they are building, we are exposing them to protocols that they can actually get hired. So you can learn in, build, and get hired. So last slide. So what's your next step? Sign up. Okay? So this is the first time. I was telling my team we'll do a pre-launch here. So this is we are wrapping up the development, but you can actually sign up. For another way you can earn is that you can invite your friends to learn a skill and you get paid. Okay? Yeah. You can refer your friend to learn a skill and you'll be paid from 5% to 10%. Okay? So sign up. Make sure you use the code. Make sure you use that referral code, or we'll post the link on the platform. So with this, I would say one last thing. Let me quote back the scripture I started with. Seest thou a man that is what? Diligent. The Bible said the person will stand before kings. Okay? The person will stand before kings and not mere men. I just want to encourage us to give you cannot remove hard work. Or okay, no, hard work they've redefined hard work. Working hard. You cannot remove working hard in anything. If you like, choose content creation. You must labor. You must labor. So I just want us, whichever skill you want to decide to join, try to give it your best. Try to give it your best. And if you are giving it your best, know that it won't be easy. There are nights where you won't have data, you will be stressed out, you will lose motivation. I can't count the number of times I want to give up. But if you look at, we know we don't have so much influence now as compared to the future. But if you look at people who are looking up to you, you would want to keep pushing and keep pushing. So that would just be my last word with us. Finally, I would like to thank Papa once again for the opportunity to be here to speak with us. I'm honored, sir.